तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् इषेत्वोर्जेत्वा वायवस्तोपायवस्तदेवो वस्सविता प्रार्पयतु श्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मण आप्यायध्वमग्न्या देवभागम् ऊर्जस्वतीः पयस्वतीः प्रजावतीरनमीवा अयश्मामावस्तेन ईशतमागशगंसो रुद्रस्य हेतिः परिवो वृणक्तु ध्रुवा अस्मिन् गोपतौ स्यात बह्वीर्यजमानस्य पशून् पाहि. Today for America was Gayatri Jayanti and happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. It is also Yajurveda Upakarma. That is why we did the Gayatri mantra and the first Anuvaka of Krishna Yajurveda. Nyastatmiya Baram Varaprada Vairagya Bhagyo Dadau Vedanta-mrita-saravanta-managa Shri Srinivasad-guroho Shri Shailanmaya-kaustubhasya tanayam Shreyo Nideshi Nidehe Vande Sadhu-kataksha-keli-nilayam Shri Krishna-saddheshikam Gita-su Gita-kartavya Himanyai Shastra-sangrahaihi Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukha-padmat Vinisrita. So yesterday we stopped at this, verse 19, Saghosho Dhartarashranam Hridayani Vyadarayate Nabhascha Prithivin Chaiva Tumulo Vyanunadayan. So all this dreadful sound of all the conch and different kinds of drums and everything echoed through earth and sky, shaking the very spirit of the Kauravas. So we'll start with the new verse for today. अतव्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते तनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः. So now Arjuna was there. He is sitting in the chariot, which is Kapidhwaja, which has the Hanuman in the flag, on the flag, Hanuman emblem, and he looked at the Kaurava army. All of them arrayed in the battle, and he lifted his mighty bow. He was ready to go in, right? So, Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanurudhyamya Pandavaha refers to Arjuna here. He was ready, preparing himself for the clash of weapons that was about to begin. So, Shastra Sampate, all the clash, he was getting ready for that. So, Atavyavastitan Drishtva
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा
धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः
धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः
प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते
शस्त्रसम्पाते
धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः.
धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः.
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युता. So here is actually it should be Arjuna Uvacha, right above the Senayorubayormadhye. The first part is Rishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate. So then Arjuna spoke these words to Rishikesha. His idamaha spoke that way. Mahipate is of course Dhritarashtra. Sanjay is addressing him as Mahipate. So Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna says Senayorubhayormadhye Ratan Sthapaya Mechuta. So between the two armies, station my chariot. He kind of orders Krishna, right? Or Mahipate is Lord of the earth. So Dhritarashtra is really getting elevated. So Arjuna says, place my chariot between the two armies. Rishikesham tada vakyam
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम्
idamaha mahipate
इदमाह महीपते.
Arjuna uvacha
अर्जुन उवाच
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
रथं स्थापयमेच्युता.
रथं स्थापयमेच्युत.
So me achyuta, me achyuta. Achyuta is the one which is imperishable, steadfast, no blemish, no chuti. So he's ordering Krishna actually, Ratham Sthapaya me chuta. So he is his Uber driver. So he's Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukamanavasthitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin ranasamudyame. So he's telling that so I want to kairmaya saha yodhavyam. So I want to see with who is worthy of me to fight with in this asmin ranasamudyame, in this ocean of battleground, who is worthy of for me to fight with. So he says, Yavadetan niriksheham. So I want to take a see who is Yodhukama Namastitan. There are many of them are desirous or ready to fight. They are loving to fight. So I want to select who I should fight with. During those times, typically equals used to fight. So it is not like because there are so many people, there were thousands of warriors on that we're going to fight with the equals. Vivadascha, Vivahascha Samayo Reva Shobhate, it says both for arguments as well as marriage. For similar is better. Here, even for the fight, we want to fight with similar people. Yavadetan niriksheham.
यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम्
Yodhu kamanavasthitan.
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
Kairmaya saha yodhavyam.
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
Asmin ranasamudhyame.
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
Yotsamanan aveksheham. Kayete trasamagataha. Dhartarashtrasya durbuddher yuddhe priyachikirsavaha. He says he also like to see all those who have eagerly joined here to please. Why they have joined? Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe priyachikirsavaha. Just to join to please the wicked Arjun, Duryodhana here. Durbidde is wicked. The Dhartarashtra here refers to Duryodhana. So to all these people, I would also like to see, well, all those who have eagerly joined the battle to please the wicked Duryodhana. Yotsamanan aveksheham.
योत्स्यमानान्नवेक्षेऽहम्
Yayete samagataha.
य एतेऽत्र समागताः
Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe
धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धे
yuddhe priyachikirsavaha.
युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः.
Now, this is actually Sanjaya is telling this. Now to Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya is narrating. Eva mukto hrishikesho Sanjaya uvacha. Eva mukto hrishikesho gudha keshena bharata. Tena yorubhayor madhye sthapayitva rathottamam. So as per Arjuna requested, Hrishikesha Krishna, Gudakesha is Arjuna, Hrishikesha is Krishna. Krishna has listened to Arjuna's orders and placed that magnificent chariot between the two armies. Tapayitva Rathottamam is magnificent chariot. He's stationed it in between the two armies. Eva mukto hrishikesho
एवमुक्तो हृषीकेशो
gudha keshena bharata
गुडाकेशेन भारत
senayoruhayor madhye
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
sthapayitva rathottamam.
स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्.
So now the chariot is in between, and now, of course, this Arjuna takes a look at the army. Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarveshan Mahikšitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. The way Krishna stationed the chariot is right in front of Bhishma, Drona, and all those kings of the world. Then he said to Vacha, to Partha, O Partha, Arjuna, look at the Kurus. Pashaitan, Samavetan, all the assembled Kurus. He spoke thus, Kurun iti. He told Arjuna, so I was stationed in between. So you look at all these Kurus who have assembled here. Bhishma, Drona, Pramukataha,
भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः
Sarveshan cha Mahikshitam,
सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम्
Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan,
उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान्
Samavetan Kuruniti.
समवेतान् कुरूनिति.
Now Arjuna sees that Partha, Tatra Pashyastitan Partha Pitrinata Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Bhratrin Putran Pautran Sakhins Tata. So now Arjuna sees there the grandfather, Pitamahan, and father, teachers, uncles, cousins, nephews, sons, grandsons, and friends. And in the Hindu tradition, even our brothers and relatives, cousins, children, we all consider them as our children. So Arjuna will have many grandsons here because of that. That is the way our relationships are. So it's always an extended family. It's all a joint family. So Tatra Pashyastitan Partha. We are not hearing you, Shilpa.
Sorry. तत्र पश्यास्तितान् पार्थः
Pitrinatha Pitamahan
पितॄनथ पितामहान्
Acharyan Matulan Bhratrin
आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन्
Putran Pautran Sakhims Tatha.
पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा.
It continued, few more relatives. Shvashuran Suhradashchaiva Senayo Rubhayorapi Tan Samikshasa Kaunteyah Sarvan Bandhu Namastitan. Shvashuran is, of course, fathers-in-law. And it continued, we were seeing. And then well-wishers on both sides. After all, it is almost like a family feud. It is happening right within it is not like one kingdom or one country fighting against the other one. They are all from the same Bharata. So when he took a closer look at his relatives ready for battle, so Tan Samikshasa Kaunteya Sarvan Bandhu Namastitan, all of them are so well-wishers on both sides. When he took a closer look at his relatives ready for battle, it continues. Shashuran Suhradaschaiva
श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव
Senayorubhayorapi
सेनयोरुभयोरपि
Tan Samikshasa Kaunteyah
तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः
Sarvan Bandhu Navastitan
सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान्.
Kripaya Paraya Vishto Vishidan Idamabravit. So now up till that it was Sanjaya telling. Now Arjuna says, Arjuna uvacha drishtve swajanam Krishna yuyutsam samavastitam. There's some slight variation here. Here in this Hari's new book it is like that. In our book it is samupastitam. The samavastitam is samupastitam. Okay. So Arjuna, son of Kunti, overcome by sudden burst of pity. Kripaya paraya vishto vishidan idam abravit. This is Sanjaya telling Dhritarashtra. He was overcome a sudden burst of pity. So now he says that Arjuna uvacha, this is Trishtvevam swajanam Krishna yuyutsam samupastitam. So he's telling that Krishna, when I see my own people eager to fight us, It continues. See the difference here. Arjuna is saying Swajanam Krishna, whereas Dhritarashtra was saying Mamakaha Pandavas Chaiva. So here is the Arjuna's problem, really. He's considered all of them are Swajanam. That is true. That is actually the fact. So when he looks at that, so when I see my own people eager to fight us, now he tells what happens, next verse. But Kripaya Paraya Vishto
कृपया परयाविष्टो
Vishedan Nidamabravit
विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्।
Arjuna Uvacha
अर्जुन उवाच
Drishtvemam Swajanam Krishna
दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण
Yuyutsam Samupastitam.
युयुत्सं समुपस्थितम्।
Now continues here. Sidanti mama gatrani mukhancha parishusyati vepatuscha sharire me romaharshascha jayate. So sidanti mama gatrani, my limbs grow weak. Mukhancha parishusyati, all my body trembles, my mouth turns dry. Mukham is mouth, is parishusyati, turning dry. Vepatuscha sharire me is the uh, the body is trembling, and then Roma Harshascha Jayate. My hair is standing on end. So it's kind of, we feel that when we get, when we are in very cold weather also it happens, our hair stands up. So that is, he's basically highly perturbed right now. So my limbs grow weak, my body trembles, my mouth turns dry, and my hair stand on end. Sidanti mama gatrani
सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि
mukhancha parishusyati
मुखं च परिशुष्यति
vepatuscha sharire me
वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे
roma harshascha jayate.
रोमहर्षश्च जायते।
Gandivam sramsate hastat vakchaiva paridahyate na cha shaknomyavastatum brahmati vachame manaha. So Gandivam sramsate hastat. Actually, the Gandiva is his famous bow, right? Arjuna bow is Gandiva, and that is, it is slipping from his hand. It is slipping from my hand. Tvakchaiva paridashyate. My skin burns. I don't know how many have felt skin burning. If you have not, go and get yourself a Carolina Reaper hot pepper and cut it without wearing gloves. We all feel like Arjuna in battlefield here. So the whole skin, now my palm was burning for 3 days after cutting Carolina Reaper. So now I understand what Tvakchaiva paridashyate. So that is skin is burned. And then Brahmati vachame manaha, my mind wills, and nacha saknomi avasthatam, I cannot barely stand. Sta is to stand. Sthana is like place. So I can barely stand. Gandivam sramsate hastat
गाण्डीवं स्रंसते हस्तात्
tvakchaiva paridahyate
त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते
na cha shaknomyavastathum
न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुम्
Brahmati vachame manaha.
भ्रमतीव च मे मनः।
So Brahmati is whirling. Like in Sanskrit, as you know, very few words are used for many, many things. Brahmara is butterfly, because that kind of runs around. Okay, so Arjuna's mind was like butterfly now. So kind of whirling around. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava na cha shreyo nu pashyami hatva svajanamahave. He says that I see only bad signs, bad omens. I see only bad omens here. I cannot see any good coming from this. in this Viparita is with all these things going on here. I see only bad omens. I can't see any good coming from killing my own people. Nacha shreyonu pashyami. I don't see any shreyas or anything good here by killing our, again see, hatva svajana mahavi. There he said Drishtvemam svajanam Krishna. Here he says svajana mahave in the battle, ahave in the battle, killing hatva our own people. So nimittani cha pashyami
निमित्तानि च पश्यामि
viparitani keshava
विपरीतानि केशव
nacha shreyonu pashyami
न च श्रेयोऽनुपश्यामि
hatva svajanamahave.
हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे.
As we go through Gita, you will see so many words we use. Like we say, if something is doing something awkward, it's a viparita. It is viparita, right? So many words of, I'm actually, if you carefully look at the Gita verses, we use all of them in our Indian languages. At least in Kannada language, almost all these words are there. So there is a joke, Rangapriya Swami, who was a guide and who was my Sanskrit teacher, and who gave me extra 10 rupees. Somebody went to him and we all talk about Sanskrit is a dead language, right? Sanskrit is a dead language. They went to Rangapriya Swami and said, Samskrita mrita bhashe allave, like that he said. Then Rangapriya Swami answered, your question was full of Sanskrit only, except allave, ballave between. So 90% of your question was Sanskrit only. How it can be dead language? So you will notice that. That's why whenever some words come like that, I will point out which we use. Did we do this? Nimittani cha pashyami. One more time. Nimittani cha pashyami.
निमित्तानि च पश्यामि
Viparitani keshava.
विपरीतानि केशव
Na cha shreyonu pashyami.
न च श्रेयोऽनुपश्यामि
Hatva svajanamahave.
हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे.
So we kind of did viparita with this verse. So next to nakankshe vijayam Krishna. Nacha rajyam sukhani cha kinno rajyena govinda kim bhogair jivitena va. So now we say nakankshe vijayam Krishna. Krishna, I have no interest in victory at all. I really I don't fancy victory. Nacha rajyam sukhani cha. No kingdom, no pleasures. I don't want victory or pleasure or kingdom. And Kinno Rajena Govinda. What is the use of this Govinda for us, this kingdom? Kim Bhogair Jivitenava. What this kingdom and even the life itself, what is so much so big about life itself to do all these things? If you notice here is addressing Krishna as Govinda. Govinda, one of the meaning for Govinda is a cow herder, herder of cows. So, oh, herder of cows, why we want kingdom, why we want all this pleasure and everything, why do we want even to, even life itself, doing all for, well, it's even worth, not even worth living. Nakankshe vijayam Krishna,
न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण
nacha rajyam sukhani cha,
न च राज्यं सुखानि च
kinno rajyena govinda,
किन्नो राज्येन गोविन्द
kim bhogair jivitena va.
किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा.
येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितन्नो राज्यं भोग सुखानि च तयि मे वस्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च. येषाम् अर्थे, for whose sake, काङ्क्षितं we desire all this sukha and bhoga and rajya, all those things, kingdom, for whose sake we want, lot of time we want to especially in our culture, we want to live for others. We want to make others happy, right? We want to make our relatives happy, friends happy. Also, we'll make others jealous also sometimes. But all the things we want to get for ourselves to please the people whom we love. So in this case, Taime Vastita Yuddha, in this case, of course, Drona, Bhishma, Kripa, they're all the people who he really wants to impress. But they are the very same people living, Taime Vastita Yuddha, in the battlefield. How are they living? Pranans, Tyaktva, Dhananicha. They're already willing to give up their life as well as their fortunes or their wealth. So who am I to show my all this success? This Yeshamarte Kangshitanno
येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो
Rajyam Bhoga Sukhani cha
राज्यं भोगासुखानि च
Taime Vastita Yuddhe
तयिमेव स्थिता युद्धे
Pranans Tyaktva Dhanani cha.
प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च.
So now he elaborates who are all he was talking about, who have given up, who have pledged their life there. Acharya Pitara Putraha Tathaiva cha Pitamahaha Matula Shvashura Pautraha Shala Sambandhinastata. These are all the people, teachers, uncles, sons, grandfathers, grandsons, nephews, and many relatives. Pitaraha, we translated it as, instead of fathers, we translated them as uncles, because we are all, they are all here used as a word Pitaraha itself, but they actually refers to uncles. So continues the other relatives. Acharya Pitara Putraha
आचार्या पितरः पुत्राः
Tathaiva cha Pitamahaha
तथैव च पितामहः
Mahaha
तथैव च पितामहाः
Matula Shvashura Pautraha
मातुलाः श्वशुरः पौत्राः
Shala Sambandhinastata.
श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा
Etanna hantumichhami gnatopi madhusudana api trailokya rajyasya heto kinnumahi krite etanna hantum ichhami. I don't like to kill these people whom he mentioned in the previous verses. So what? Gnatopi, even I have to, even if I die, even if I am killed, I won't do that. Madhusudana. He addresses Krishna as Madhusudana. Just one of the meanings of Madhusudana is he had killed a demon by name Madhu. So Krishna doesn't have to tell, haven't I killed in my life? I have killed also, like that. So even I may rather die, but I won't want to kill them. For what? Api Trailokya Rajyasya. Even if I have to get 3 worlds, Heto then kinnu mahikrite, what for justice earth? I am not even willing to kill them for all the 3 worlds. So not just for this one world. Etanna hantum ichhami
एतान्न हन्तुमिच्छामि
gnatopi madhusudana
घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदना
api trailokya rajyasya
अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य
hetoh kinnu mahikrite.
हेतोः किं नु मही कृते.
So this word gnatopi, gnatopi is is to kill, is to die, to kill, even if I am killed. Okay. How much gnata is to kill, how much these words are in usage. There was one person, this organic chemist, he had developed some herbal things to kill roaches. So he came to our house and he had called it as bug sack. So he looked at my daughter with my father with Dvadasha Namams and everything. He wanted to impress my father. He used that baksak in our house, and of course, every house has roaches. Many roaches came out and they all died. And he added that baksak to our tea also, telling that it's not at all harmful to us. He spoiled my tea also. Anyway, so then after looking at my father, he wanted to impress him. I want to give it a Sanskrit name. I want to call it Krimigna, he said. My father listened to him and said, won't it be safer if you just call it Gna? Just kills. So if somebody gets poisoned, they won't come after you. So instead of Krimi Gna, just call it Gna, he said. So I had already learned Gita by that time. I remembered this word Gna comes here. Gnatopi Madhusudana. Did we do this verse? Okay. Let us not kill it again. निहत्यधार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्याज्जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतानाततायिनः. So here he is calling Janardana, addresses Krishna as Janardana. Oh Janardana, you are the protector of man. What kind of happiness you will get by killing the Dhartarashtra's? What kind are we going to get by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Although this is, we get only sin, like Papa Meva Shrayedasman. We get only, we incur only Papa or sin. Although they are by killing Hatvaitan Atatayanaha, although they have incited the war, and Atatayanaha is that they're ready, aggressors, having their weapons ready to strike at us. They're all weapons are drawn to attack us. Even though we are in such a situation, we should not be killing them, because protector of men, what kind of happiness are we going to get by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Even though they have incited us for the war, as well as not only that, they're uh, ready to strike us. But by doing that, by killing them, we incur only sin. Papameva. That's all we get. Nihatya dharta rashtranaha
निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः
का प्रीतिस्या janardana
का प्रीतिः स्या जनार्दन
पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान्
पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान्
हत्वैतानाततायिनः.
हत्वैतान् आततायिनः.
It's interesting. He calls Krishna as Janardana here. So you're a protector of men. So how can we kill? तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं दार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधव. So therefore, na arham, they are not worthy for us to kill them. It's not fair at all to kill them. Arha, it's not fair. How can we kill Sabhandavan? They are Swajanam. So how can ever be happy? How can be happy killing Sabhan bandhus or relatives as well as our own people? See how many times he says Swajanam, Sabhandavan. So he has already used 4 or 5 times. My people, my relatives, my friends, like that. Tasman narha vayam hantum
तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं
dhartarashtraन् swabandhavan
धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान्
swajanam hi katam hatva
स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा
sukhinas syama madhava.
सुखिनः स्याम माधव.
So both the words here, he's talking Madhava. Yeah. That's also, Madhava is also a very nice kind way of addressing Krishna. So here it's Madhava is, I think, mostly like a it is this is a Madhu. This is a descendant of, this is not the Madhusudana. This is the descendant of Madhu. This is different Madhava. यद्यप्येतेन पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम्. So they are lobopahata chetasaha. They are overcome by lobha, greed. They fail to see. Yadi api etena pashyanti. Even though it is, even though api, indeed, they fail to see because they are overcome by greed, they are possessed by greed. But kulakshaya kritam dosham, by over killing our own family, kula, uh, and betraying friend, mitra drohe cha patakam, they are not able to see. Overcome by greed, they fail to see the evil that comes in killing one's own family. That is the dosham of kulakshaya kritam. Then betraying friends, mitra drohe cha patakam. It continues. It's an incomplete verse here. Yadyapyetena pashyanti
यद्यप्येतेन पश्यन्ति
लोभोपहत चेतसः
लोभोपहत चेतसः
कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं
कुलक्षयकृतं दोषम्
मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम्.
मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम्.
So we all know kshaya is tuberculosis, right? Where we actually eats up our body, kshaya. So you can see Sanskrit is not a dead language. Although you can die of kshaya, language is not dead. Kathan agneyam पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. So they cannot see, but how can we not see that, Krishna? Katham na gnayam asmabhihi. If just because they are possessed by greed, they don't see, we should be able to see this. We can clearly see it's wrong in killing our own kin. Isn't it better to stay away instead of doing this from this evil? That's what he's saying. Katham nagneyam asmabhihi
कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः
पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुं
पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुम्
कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं
कुलक्षयकृतं दोषम्
प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन.
प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन.
Here again a good way of addressing Krishna, protector of Janardana. So you see lot of that kind of nice wordplay in chapter 1 in the way they address. Then he tells what are bad things about destroying one kula, one's kulakshaya. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulang krishnam adharmo vibhavatyutha. So when a family is destroyed, kulakshaye pranashyanti, time-honored family values are lost. Kula dharmaha sanatana. Sanatana is time-honored. Family values are lost. Kula dharmaha. Dharme naste kulam krishnam. Family value. When family values are lost, chaos reigns in the family. Adharma is chaos. Abhibhavatyuta. It rises. Chaos rises in the family. We always use the Sanatana Dharma. See the word Sanatana Dharma. Kulakshaye pranashyanti Kuladharma Sanatana. This is right. It's a time valued practices of a family or a culture or a society. Like so Kulakshaye pranashyanti
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति
Kuladharma Sanatanaha
कुलधर्माः सनातनाः
Dharme Nashte Kulang Krishnam
धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम्
Adharmo Vivavatyuta.
अधर्मो विभवत्युता.
Yeah, Krishnam means entire. Okay, it kind of Krishna sounds like a Krishna, but Krishnam means entire, the whole altogether. Adharma Vibhavat Krishna Pradushyanti Kulastriyah Trishu Dushtasu Varshneya Jayate Varnasankaraha. It continues what happens when those destruction of Kula, everything happens. When because of the Adharma comes up, that's where it ended, right? The previous one, the chaos. Now, when adharma comes up, when chaos reigns, the women of the family are violated. Pradushyanti kulastriyaha. Kulastriya, women of the family, are pradushyanti, they are violated. When women are violated, strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. There is mixing up of the society happens. Because we don't know who the father, who the child, things like that. Mixing up happens. And here, interestingly, he calls Krishna as Varshneya. Varshneya means one who belongs to the tribe of the Vrishnis. Vrishnena Vasudevosmi, Krishna himself says later in the Gita. So Varshneya is one belonging to tribe of Vrishni. He is able to say that, addressing Krishna as Varshneya, because the order in society has not been destroyed. Everyone knows who is who and all those things. So when there is order, there is no disorder, it's easy to recognize who belongs to who. So very nice. Even today, there is a Varshneya, is a whatever the reason is, Varshnayas are there in India today, but they come under Dalits. Varshnayas are scheduled caste today in India. So this is Strishu Dushtasu Varshneya. So because of the orderly society, everyone knew who is who. So he is able to call Krishna as Varshneya. We lived for 8 years in a small town called Bartles Hill in Oklahoma. It was about 25,000 people. There was only one company or one and a half companies, and nobody gave a signal there for right turn or left turn. Because it was just like everyone knew everyone, they know where they are going. There was absolutely no need. So it was such an orderly society. So no need to use signals or anything. Adharma vibhavat Krishna
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण
प्रदुष्यन्ते कुलस्त्रियः
प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः
स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय
स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय
जायते वर्णसङ्करः.
जायते वर्णसङ्करः.
So what? If Varnasankara happens, what's the big deal? It says Sankaro narakayaiva kulaghana kulasya cha patanti pitaro shesham lupta pindodaka kriyaha. So when that mixing up happens, anarchy pays for the say for the destroyers of this family, kula killers of family, and kula itself. When you only what is waiting for them is hell, naraka eva, because of all this mixing up. That is what is waiting. Anarchy paves the way to hell for the destroyers of the family as well as the family itself. Deprived of lupta pindodaka kriyaha, without post-death rites, patanti pitaro hi esham, these people's ancestors will causes their downfall. Yes? So basically, anarchy paves the way to hell for the destroyers of the family as well as the family itself. Deprived of post-death rites, the ancestors of these people meet their downfall. So it is not just the people who are going to die confusion in the battlefield of living at the time of Arjuna. It is almost for the people who had departed long time ago, Shantanu, all those people, all of them will be basically patanti pitaraha esham. These people's ancestors will see a downfall, right? They deprived of post-death rites. This is as we know that in our culture, in our society, in our tradition, even though people have passed away many generations ago, when we do all this kind of post-death rites for them, when we are doing for our immediate ancestor, immediate parent, grandparent, and great-grandparent, 3 generations. But it's also connected to all the rest of the family tree, the ancestor. It is just like the Christmas lights going from house to the road. You cut it anywhere, all the lights go off. So it is like that. This is the Christmas light of in our tradition. So that's Arjuna was well aware of that, and he He's bringing that point here. Sankaro narakayaiva
Sankaro narakayaiva
kulagnanam kulasya cha
kulagnanam kulasya cha
patanti pitaro hyesham
patanti pitaro hyesham
lupta pindodaka kriyaha.
lupta pindodaka kriyaha.
I think you can stop here today. It's already 10:17. If there are any questions, yesterday's or today's, or even last Thursday's, whatever, you can bring it up. We also have cherry on the top with Hari to add anything.
Just a couple of things. In verse 28, Dr. Sri Krishna mentioned that it's a small variation in our original book and our next edition. So we have Drishtavemam Swajanam Krishna Yutsum Samupastitham is what we have given in the complete Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
But the other, the version which you saw on the screen had Drishtveman Swajanam Krishna Yutsum Samavasthitam. So basically, this is from what is called the critically constituted text, which is produced by the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute of Pune. So spread over a period of almost 40 years, 1925 onwards, almost till 1966, they worked on the critical edition of the Mahabharata, which is the most possibly the most authentic version. We can't be sure about it, but the oldest manuscripts have this verse. So that is the critical edition. Then in the 32nd shloka, Kimno Rajyena Govinda Kim Bhogyair Jivitena Va. Once when I was discussing with Dr. Sri Krishna, I was telling that this is exactly the kind of mindset of an addict, right? So if you're a drug addict or an alcohol addict, you'll say, oh, if I can't have my daily dose of alcohol, what is the use of living? When I remember once when this Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, MG Ramachandran, his doctors had told him he cannot eat non-vegetarian food. It will his health is not going to permit. He said, "What is the use of living if I can't eat my meat?" So that kind of it is a mentality of an addict. So you are willing to even sacrifice your life for the sake of satisfying the ego. So it is kind of self-defeating.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 35th shloka, he says, Etanna hantum ichhami gnatopi. Even though they are willing to kill, I will not fight them. This many times I think this is exactly the kind of foolish teaching that Gandhi gave during the British the freedom struggle. Even if the Britishers kill us, even if the Muslims kill us, we should not do anything. We should be quiet. That is the mentality of Arjuna. So although he was very fond of Gita and everything, Gandhi was more Arjuna than he was agreeing with Krishna. So this typical thing, if you see some of the writings in Young India and all the suggestions that Gandhi gave in crucial time, this is exactly what he is saying. Etan na hantum ichhami. Let us not do anything. Let Hindus be silent, not do anything. Let them hit us, it's okay. That is the mentality of Arjuna. So just a couple of things I thought of sharing. Thank you.
No, that's good to point it out. So it is in our culture. So Arjuna is not dead. This kind of mentality is there. I think it's very unique to Sanatana Dharmis, Sanatanis, this kind of sacrifice. Actually, those two verses Hari showed when he sent me for the revised 10th edition of New Bhagavad Gita. I got, oh, good, I got Hari here, 2 mistakes. Then it turned out that no, he told that it is a new version, Borix edition, and so it is not a mistake, it's a new version, he said.
So Dr. Koti, I have a question. As I'm listening, right, Arjuna is with all, hold on, the video she wants me to turn on. Okay, so Arjuna is with all doubts and hesitant about the war, and he's devastated, realizing that he's going to kill his own people, of course, who won't be.
Mhm.
My question is, what about other Pandava brothers, especially Dharmaputra Yudhishthira?
That's a good question, Sohini. Hari and I discussed it when he did his workshop. Same Arjuna had fought these people in Virata's kingdom when they, same warrior, Drona, Bhishma, all of them went there to steal the cows, and Arjuna actually was a charioteer for Uttarakumara, and Uttarakumara was running away. He actually fought them. Whereas the same people he fought, he could have killed them there. Who knows, right? There was nobody knows what happens in the war. But here he changed completely. So one thing myself and Hari were discussing is why only Arjuna got this doubt.
Yes,
Yudhishthira
right.
did not get. Of course, Bhima will never get. But why would Yudhishthira did not get? So what we came up with is it's because of Krishna. Because what happens is, supposing I am driving car with my granddaughter is sitting next to me. And if a car makes some funny noise or something like that, I will just go ahead and go. Because what's the point of discussing with her? She may not know. I may just put her in, I may scare her that there is something wrong with the car. But instead of her, if her dad or some other person is sitting, adult, I will ask them, what is this problem? I'm feeling this is not driving very well. There is some issue with this car. So Arjuna's doubt came because he has so much faith in Krishna that he can get some advice. So a lot of time we get doubt when we see the person next to us, we value that person. Otherwise, what is the use of having doubt if the person next to us knows less than us? If we think, no point in asking them, right? Someone who has never gone to some restaurant we are trying to go, no point in asking that person, is it very good food there or cocktails are good or anything like that. We just go and try it out. But if somebody else is there who is expert in that area, why don't you suggest me which is a good restaurant? Even for things like that, we depend on others. That may be the reason why only Arjuna got the doubt. I think Krishna is the reason.
Okay.
That may be the.
Thank you.
Yeah, namaste. I have one question. I don't know how relevant it is to the first chapter, but it's there was a mention of that in the introduction class, about Gita being the origin of all philosophies, be it Advaita, Dvaita, or Vishishta Dvaita. I've heard of one particular shloka where, Bhagavad Gita, Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavad Gita,
Advaitamrita Bhagavati Ashtadasha
Ashtadasha.
Adhyayini. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
So, I was just curious to know because, Bhagavad Gita is so much about surrender, about jnana, bhakti, and all those things. But, there is always this thing of surrendering our actions to fruit of actions to God, and it's more like Dvaita, right? So I was wondering how we can, understand Advaita from Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, we will tell as the verses come. We can see all of them in Bhagavad Gita. You can see Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Dvaita, everything. That is why Sarva Priyananda, who is a very staunch Advaitin of Ramakrishna Mission, he told that somebody asked him, is Bhagavad Gita, like based on that verse you were telling, Advaita Amrita Varishinim, is it Advaita Bhagavad Gita, Advaita, or what is it? But he said he believes in Advaita, is a staunch Advaitin. But Bhagavad Gita itself is the source of all those things. The source of Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita. How do you want to connect like that? Like even, for example, if you go and buy a new car, it is Advaita because you are God. Anything happens, they cover it. For first 5 years, everything is covered. If it breaks down, they give you a rental car, and if you break down on the way to somewhere, they put you in a hotel and can even enjoy a nice cocktail, everything. That is Advaita. You are God after 5 years. then some of the things, some things will not be covered after that. Then it becomes Vishishtadvaita. Some few things. After the end of 10 or 12 years, of course, you keep getting that junk mail, your warranty is gone, another pay 5,000, get it extra, extend. They are becoming like dasas for you, keep on trying to sell that. But at the end of 10 years, now it's on your own. Now it is Dvaita. If something happens, you call your friend, do you know a cheap mechanic who can fix it? Or do you know anything about it? But the first year, you just command, right? So you can see that happening just in ownership of one car. Advaita, Dvaita, Visishta, Dvaita, everything. So Gita is source of all those things, how we connect. That's why it is called Sarvanukula Shastra, is how we reach it. There is even a joke about this, not joke, actually somebody told Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the staunch Advaita thinks, so Advaita is the highest level, right? It's the highest step in the ladder. The ladder, of course, the old kind of ladder in India we used to use. Advaita is the highest kind of ladder. The first step of the ladder in the ground is Dvaita. Then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, if you put the ladder upside down also it works. So like that. So it is all how we connect to. The idea is all of them are right, but none of them are complete in my opinion. If somebody says Advaita is right, Dvaita is also right, Vishishta Advaita, but none of them are complete. That's the way I look at it. So I think all of them are there.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess coming to the end, any other comments, any other question? Or? There is just, you brought about that Advaita Amrita Varshini. I just wanted to say the same one says Gita is Ambatvam Anusandadami. So it calls Gita as the mother. So Gita is actually feminine gender. Gita is like mother because Gita knows the right measure. Mother always knows the right measure. Actually, our matre, meter, everything comes from matre, mother. And there is only one person, there are so many people have translated Bhagavad Gita. Only one person, Narlekar in Canada, he lives in Canada, only he translated as Gita as she is. So that's the only book when he really called it as she is, then as it is or as he is. Okay. So that same verse says, Ambatva Manusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. So we can call it off. So Yato Dharmas Tata Krishnaha Yata Krishna Tato Jayaha. Namaste to all. We'll see you tomorrow.
Namaste.
Bright and
Dhanyavad.
early for Indians.